Hello, be fun to Plush here, back with another video. See, we are going over to Five Nights at Freddy's Jazwares plushies, Wave 1. Yes, I'm actually reviewing these now. It's been a while, been through some shit, but that's not the point, honestly. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Puppet, and Nightmarrione. Without further ado, let's get started with the Puppet. Also known as the Marionette, coming out in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, this is the Marionette. Essentially, I have reviewed this one technically with Nightmarrione, mainly the striped arm patterns, but the mask is new and the legs are new and the buttons are new. I'll go into Nightmarrione last, so we'll just treat this as a brand new review. Alright, so starting off with this plush, you have double layers of plushie. I don't know how to describe it exactly. You have embroidering with different types of fabric. You have black fabric, white fabric, black fabric, white fabric for the legs and arms. You have 3 buttons embroidered on. The mask is a separate piece of felt, which is, I would say, the whole concept of it's better than Funko's, but it needs larger eyes. These eyes look too squinted, in my opinion, and a little bit too small. They should be a little bit larger, or at least a little bit more circular, like Nightmarione's. But not as big as Nightmarione's, because the puppet's eyes are quite small in the game. The embroidering is on the cheeks, aka the blush, the lipstick, and the tears are embroidered on in purple. You have a red lipstick, red blush, and you have the smiley face and a nice black felt material. Not really felt per se, just fabric. Sorry. And this is a whole separate piece, I guess. It's connects to the back. I would say that she does have quite a big neck. She looks kind of fat, honestly. While this is a scrawny character in game, can't really say much, honestly. I would say for a plush, this is really adorable. I really do like it. It looks a little bit too menacing for a plush, but still plush enough. But yeah, let's get on to the tag. Alright, so lifting this up, with these Five Nights at Freddy's tags, you have a brand new style for them. Instead of it being Withered Freddy, who doesn't exist in plush form yet, we have the original Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, with his iconic angry expression. And on the bottom, you have a little battery percentage / health bar with the Jazwares logo with the cameras. You have the puppet, and this will just be changing from character to character. For some of these, you have you have a core band. You have Golden Freddy as in the mini plush. That's the only time he has this. And you have Puppet and Nightmarrione. Then on the back, you have just legal jargon. Nothing really much to go over. If you want to read this, you can pause. Alright, now rating the Puppet plush out of 10. Honestly, I would have to give this probably a 7 out of 10. I would say the black attracts way too much dirt, grit, and all that stuff. But other than that, it's a really nice plush. I like it a lot. Probably attracts too much dandruff as well, if you have that. But yeah, honestly, a 7 out of 10. It's a nice plush. It's not as good as the others. Could use some work. But I think they fixed it with Nightmarrione, which will be the final one we're reviewing in this video because it's an exclusive. But overall, 7 out of 10. I do like it. I would say my only problem is she's a little bit too big for her character. She is supposed to be more of a slimmer character in game. She's not as big as Toy Bonnie or Toy Freddy or Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, etc. I understand if we're doing it in this plush format. I mean, I wish I could have just at least made her a tiny bit slimmer, not a whole lot. And give her larger eyes. But yeah, that's my only criticisms for this. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, now starting off with the glow in the dark group, we have Freddy Fazbear. This one, or Classic Freddy, whatever you want to call him. Classic Freddy here is using as typical Jazwares plush style / Funko plush style. But the only thing different about him compared to the others is his face, so let's get into his face. You have, I should probably mention all his details first. You have lighter brown and darker brown as a, base and secondary color. The lighter brown is in the stomach, paws, and muzzle. You have a darker brown, medium brown for, the main body. And you have a dark brown inside the ears. And yeah, you do have a bow tie. I don't know what the material is. It's not I think it's gesture type. I can't tell. But it feels like an actual bow tie to an extent. Not as good as Funko's. It feels a little bit more cheaper than Funko's bow ties. And the hat, unfortunately, they didn't fix the brim issue. Only X-Smart has done that. And they still haven't fixed it, even though it's been 10 years and it's still happening, basically. where the hat flips up, so that takes a point off. But yeah, his nose is fully embroidered, and it's fully like not embroidered. It's a separate felt piece or like fabric piece. You have embroidering on for his freckles, and you have dark brown inside the ears. That's embroidered on with a dark brown. You have dark brown eyebrows, made with felt material. Dang it, I keep saying felt. Fabric material inside the eyebrows is embroidering. Then for your eyes, you just have white, blue for iris, and black for the pupil, and white for your shine. These do glow in dark. I'm not gonna show this off in this video. But yeah, I do like this plush a lot. He's very adorable. He was the last one I got because he's like kind of hard to find in my area because people keep scalping and crap up. But yeah, overall, I would give this guy probably a solid 9 out of 10. He's cute. He's adorable. He does what he needs to do. But I would say the hat needs to be fixed ASAP. The hat definitely needs to be fixed because like should be like if they want to copy any company, they should copy Xmart at least a tiny bit and just 2 layers. Sew it together, boom, done. You don't have to worry about it ever again. On every plush going forward. Alright, next up here we have is Bonnie the Bunny from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. As you can see here, he is basically a purple color. He should be a blue color, but I don't mind the purple at all because it's more like OG fan stuff. But yeah, he does have a different material for his bow tie. I think this is like after they made Freddy. So Bonnie's bow tie is made out of a slightly more rougher material. It's not as rough as Funko's. It's slightly softer. But yeah, it's in a dark red color. You have the same type of nose as it is for Freddy. The head shape, the body shape is the same as Freddy's. Just have ears added onto it. Mine has a permanent flop and a flop backwards. But yeah, you do have an ear. You do have 2 ears. Both have triangle patterns on the top and ovular/circular patterns on the bottom. Bonnie's eyes are exactly the same thing as Freddy's. Just they have pink irises now instead of a blue. And yeah, this is a very phenomenal plush. I do like this a lot, honestly. And my only complaint with it is if 2 complaints actually. He looks a little bit too much like Freddy, and also he should be a little bit more blue, not purple. Even though I'm a hardcore stan of Bonnie being purple, I'm not gonna fan of Bonnie being purple, not stan. What the heck? Bonnie should be more of a blue color, like an indigo purple in the first game, or just purple in general, or blue from the FNAF movie. It's really up to interpretation at this point, but yeah, this is a purple Bonnie. I'm gonna have to give this an 8 out of 10. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next up here we have is Chica. Honestly, if I were to compare this with the Funko one, which I'm not going to get out, honestly, there's no comparison. This looks exactly like Sanchi's for the most part, minus the cupcake being a little bit different. But yeah, honestly, honestly, this one's pretty good, I would say. So basically, the cupcake's a new part. It's held on by 1 or 2 threads. Mine has, unfortunately, 1 thread fallen off. But yeah, so her Let's Eat bib is printed. Unfortunately, it's in a harder material. Her beak is made of an orange felt material, and it has black embroidering for her snout, as you can see right here. Her eyes are embroidered on with white, purple, lavender, black, and white. The irises do glow, and I think the shines do too. That's the same thing on Mr. Cupcake here. He does have a flame on his candle with some yellow patterns for his candle. His cupcake base is made of a nice soft material. It's not as soft as the base plush, but it's somewhat in that range. Then you have the platter, which is more the cupcake, cake part is made of like a not as soft material as this upper part for the cupcake, but it's still a nice material. It's soft, it's cuddly. Not much to go over. You do have her 3 tufts of hair, her black eyebrows. Her Let's Eat bib is printed on. This is probably one of the better Let's Eat bibs I have seen from any company. Other than like Hex, honestly. Hex embroidered it and printed it. I mean, they could have just done the same thing with this too. I would say it's a little bit too high up. But yeah, overall fantastic plush. Like, you do have some light yellow accents as well. Still a really phenomenal plush. And yeah, let's move on to ratings of Chica. Alright, so rating Chica out of 10. Honestly, I'm going to have to give her probably a 10 out of 10. Not because I'm Chica biased or anything. I do not like Chica at all, honestly. People like go goon to her too much, but whatever. What I'm going to say is, like, that she's a good plush. She looks very adorable. She looks very friendly. She looks very cuddly, too. She's using the nice, materials that like, I don't know who else used it. Like, the puppet and Nightmarioone and Freddy and Bonnie used. And yeah, it's a phenomenal plush. 10 out of 10. Really nothing to complain about. Maybe the only complaint I do have is like the Let's Eat bib should be a little bit more embroidered, have a little bit more detail put into it, and it should be a softer material. And the cupcake should have a larger candle. But other than that, 10 out of 10. Alright, next up here we have this Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. The one that jump scares you and technically gives you a heart attack in game, but who knows. So basically, this is Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Foxy. He's inspired off his FNAF 1 plushie. And yeah. Now, without that out of the way, let's get into Foxy. Alright, without going into extravagant details, I'm just going to go to the body first, honestly. His body is a standard plush type, no bow tie, no nothing, honestly, no bib, no nothing. So he basically is very generic. He's made out of a red and a salmonish pink color. Salmonish red color for his like secondary colors, and he has a base dark red. His eye has a black eye patch, and that's embroidered on. I would say it should have been 3D, but there's only so much budget they have. You do have Foxy's free tufts of hair. Have a dark red inside for his ears, which is inaccurate. I think maybe I don't know. Dark red for the eyebrows. You have a white iris. No, we have white. I don't know. White eye, yellow iris, yellow/orange iris, black for the people, white for his shine. He's all glow in the dark, nothing much to go over. You do have black. This guy's really simple, honestly. You do have a pretty long snout, I would say. His snout is pretty long in person. Not as long as some items, but it does look very adorable. You do have 2 teeth, one being silver on one side, one being gold on the other, and you do have 3 freckles that are embroidered on. Nothing much to go over there. And you can make them wave, like this. And yeah. He is a phenomenal plush, or at least a good plush, I would say. But yeah, overall, I would have to give him... Oh wait, I'm not even rating him yet. Let's get to that. Alright, rating Foxy out of 10. Honestly, I have to give him another 8 out of 10. Like, he's good, but he could be a little bit better, honestly. Maybe a 7 out of 10. I don't know exactly. Maybe a 7 out of 10. He's not as good as Chica. He's not as good as, like, Freddy or Bonnie. His snout's too big, and his eye patch should be more bulged out. Eye patch should be more bulged out, and he should have larger teeth. And his nose should be a little bit bigger. His actual nose, black nose part, should be a little bit bigger. But other than that, I would say a 7 out of 10. He's still a good plush. He uses good materials, but like at the same time, like this is kind of like an overhyped plushie of a wave. Honestly, like I was barely lucky. I had one strand of luck to get this guy. Like I almost missed out on Chica and Foxy. It's like people were planning to buy him when I was at Target. That's why you see a free type tag. But yeah, other than personal experiences, I missed out on Freddy, unfortunately. So I got mine off of Amazon, because he was the only one on there. But yeah, Foxy here, before I ramble, solid 7 out of 10. Let's move on to Nightmarrione. Alright, last up we have is Nightmarrione, the Hot Topic exclusive Jazwares Nightmarrione, and box lunch, I think, too. But yeah, I'm going to make this really quick, really simple. Let's get to it. This is a Five Nights at Freddy's 4 Halloween Edition character. And yeah, now let's get started. Alright, to start off with this plush itself, the legs are just generic black legs. You have ribcage, not 3D, embroidered on. And you have 2 white patterns for the, like the tentacles, I guess you could say. I don't know, his tendrils, I guess. I don't know. He's more like Venom than anything, honestly. But yeah, yeah, so you have the rib cage embroidered on, and it has like 3 spikes. You can only see 2, but there is 3 if they move the leg a little bit. It's 3, and there's like 2, and it's on 2 sides. The mask is really nice. I do like it a lot. I'm just breezing right through this. You have a nice mouth embroidered on with the the teeth being printed, or no, these teeth are embroidered on top of a piece of felt in white. In the bottom part of the teeth, underneath the teeth is a black part, and you have black lipstick embroidered on up and bottom, top and bottom. Then you have the eyebrows embroidered on in black. You have the pupils embroidered on in a glow in dark white, and you have a black hollowness around his eyes. Honestly, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. Honestly, he's a little bit chubby, I will say that, but yeah. For FNAF 1 plush style, this is really adorable. I'm not going to go over this in extravagant detail. I've reviewed this guy to death, basically. Really went over my thoughts on him. I'm going to see what has changed, and yeah, then we'll end off the video. So just a one and done this. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. Could be a little bit better. I would say that like some of the tiers do pick up too much stuff in them. Honestly, like if you have dandruff or anything like that, that stuff will attract to this really, really quickly. But yeah, overall, as a Hot Topic exclusive, it's pretty nice. Do not overpay for this. Do not overpay for this. Unless it's sold out of Hot Topic like permanently. Do not overpay more than $40 for this. That's my best recommendation. These retail for like $15 to $20 in person. Maybe more on the lines of $10 to $15. Then like the exclusive should be like $20. $15 to $20. But you know what I mean. Like, do not pay over $65 like I did. That was ridiculous. Because it just came out a day after I bought this. But yeah, you have like really nice details. It's a really nice plush, honestly. I would say he should be a lot thinner. Like he's just as scrawny as the puppet, maybe even thinner, honestly. Or larger, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, but yeah, that's it for Nightmarioone. Let's end off the video. Alright, now to end off Jazwares FNAF 1 series review for the wave. How would I rate this wave out of 10? Honestly, I would probably have to give it like an 8 or a 9. I don't know exactly on the wave yet how I should rate it entirely. Definitely an 8 or a 9. There's some mishaps in the wave, like Chica's bib being printed on poorly. And like it being like made of a very bad material. But like overall, I mean, these are soft or cuddly for the most part. They're desirable too. That's nice. Honestly, you get very nice characters for wave 1. You get the core band, Puppet, and Nightmarioone. But I would say, we're missing Golden Freddy. Where the heck is Golden Freddy? He's a main part. Well, he's a glitch in FNAF 1, but he might as well be considered a main part at this point. He's in the mainline series. In FNAF 2 onwards. But where is Golden Freddy? Standard Golden Freddy, like classic Golden Freddy, whatever. He needed to be in this wave, 100%. If he's in the Wizards, that's going to sell like hotcakes, but like, if he's in any other wave other than the Wizards, he's still going to sell. He's Golden Freddy. Or they are Golden Freddy. I don't know. I don't know the exact term. Animatronic lore, I guess. But yeah. Overall, enough rambling. How would I rate this wave out of 10? 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10? In between those, honestly. Like an 8.5. It's a good wave. There's just a few errors and inconsistencies in this wave. Like Bonnie's bow tie, Chica's bib. Cupcake's candle being too small. Foxy's teeth being a little bit too small. And his snout being extra large. But Freddy's a perfect plush. Nightmarione's a perfect plush. Puppet could use some work on the eyes. Bonnie's practically perfect because he's technically supposed to be a rehash of Freddy because that's how it was in game. Now, in real life, how like Scott designed him. But Bonnie should have like his cheeks more lifted up so it doesn't mimic Freddy as much. But yeah, overall, that's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry this was rushed. I have to get this out before like 6:30 p.m. because my parents are going to be home any minute now. But yeah, bye.